Hello, everybody. Welcome to Starter Motivation. I'm your host, Jacoppo Balderrama. You can call me Jaco. From Houston, all the way now in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have the privilege and the once-in-a-life opportunity to be here with the great Rocco Martini, Jordan Whitehead. Safety professional, NFL safety. Coincidence? I think not. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Always a delight. And let me just start off by saying that never in a million years, if you would have asked me, would you be in Pennsylvania one?
Yeah.
Would you know this kind of Italian guy who's stimulating the industry in Pittsburgh and meeting his best friend, an NFL superstar? I would have told you, come on, let's be real. Let me take this one day at a time. So, first of all, thank you for your time, Jordan, Rocco. I know there's a lot of moving parts, but I'm really curious and eager to share what we all bring into the Berg.
Yeah.
So, Rocco, so you're a local as well. What were you born? Were you born here in Center Township?
Yeah, Center Township. So we actually both grew up in Center Township, just maybe 3 or 4 miles down the road.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
You too?
Same, yeah. Been here my whole life, man. You know, I come back and visit, but staying in Tampa and then being in New York kind of threw it off a little bit. But I stayed college. I went to Pitt, so stayed here for school, and then I was always coming back and visiting. So it's definitely special here.
Oh, home always calls, right?
Yep.
And we have a saying in Mexico, blood calls. And blood could be where you grew up, could be your family members, and it's just overall. So, talking about being born here and knowing each other, how was your childhood, Rocco? How did that look?
Childhood here. It was definitely pretty awesome. I mean, we obviously it's a small town, right? Close knit community, close knit families. So you have that circle of friends, that core group of friends who you grow up with, and I like to think of my day ones, right, per se, as like my close personal family. So I mean, I have like Jordan, for example, was one of my close friends. We grew up together. I think we met when we were 4 or 5 years old. So like to be able to grow up with your best friends, your family, share memories. Sports is a big part of this community, right? You hear Western Pennsylvania sports, Western Pennsylvania football, Whippy football. It's like it rings bells, right, all around the country. You know, obviously you just see on ESPN everything. Darrell Revis, which happens to be Jordan's cousin, being inducted to the Hall of Fame. Aliquippa has the most Hall of Famers at any high school in the country, right? So sports around here is a big deal. So being able to grow up with your best friends, your family, play sports around here, I think that's kind of formed us and made us who we are today. Just growing up in this area, you know.
Definitely, it is a very influential area, not only for football, but just youth in general that want to play the sport. You growing up here next to this guy, how did your early childhood look like? What were some of the influences you got from the community, and not only coming from a loving family, but from a family that's in the sport?
Right. Like really, I could just remember playing sports my whole life, but like off side of the sports, there would be like workouts at, you know, my uncle's house, or his dad, Judge, would be having, you know, people working out in the basement, doing drills with, you know, the coach at the time, Rich George and Johnny George, like just working out, doing cone drills. I just remember always doing stuff like that. And that's kind of what like always got me going in the football in that direction, like working out. There's little things I hated doing when I was young, but now I appreciate them.
Were you like a quiet kid, or were you like that leadership kind of kid? Like, oh, there's no way,
I'm still the same. Like to this day, I always get like, my coaches always tell me, like, you just lead by example. You know what I mean? I stay quiet. I do. If I'm like working out, I'll be excited and be loud about it. But like if I'm playing football, things like that. But as soon as it's done, I'm like, all right, I'm going back. Obviously I'm done. I'm about to just, you know, be chill and talk to people normal, and you know, you gotta change. You know how to adapt.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn it off. Turn the switch off.
So, you know, like you said, a switch, right? For you as a kid, were you a little hyper? Were you, because you have to have the yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
So he's more quiet. I can only imagine you.
So, I mean, I don't know if you would say I was the crazy one or the loud one, but I mean, we definitely had our fun growing up back in the day. I mean, and I think like Jordan was saying, ever since we were little kids, right? We always we had coaches, Coach Judge, my dad, Coach Mike Sims, Rich George, Coach Dawson, all these coaches in our life and all these people in our life that kind of raised us with that chip on our shoulder, and you know how to have that grit to us, that swagger to us, right? And I think like just basically growing up with that mindset and with those people in our lives, it kind of made us who we are today.
Definitely.
It was cool.
Coming here from Texas, the very first thing that I noticed was not only like the football community and the mentality, but we call it that tooth, that gear that just kicks in whenever the instinct kicks in.
Yeah.
And for you here locally, it's like a day-to-day. Yeah, I don't even think y'all know a different gear. Y'all just keep it that gear steady, and it breeds excellence.
Yeah.
Y'all are perfect examples of it. As kids, was there ever any situation where y'all were in a bind bad? Like, man, what did we just do? Like, oh, what did we get ourselves into? Because I know somebody had to talk some sense into somebody else. Either you to Jordan or Jordan. I know that for a fact.
I mean, I don't know.
Then you can say.
I don't know.
I don't know we didn't get in trouble like that.
No. I mean, I think overall we were pretty decent kids.
Maybe some stuff in school.
There was
like,
stuff in school, yeah.
Okay.
Get in trouble.
Yeah.
Just a little, like
Little
nothing
stuff.
terrible.
Nothing crazy. Like, we didn't run into no trouble with the law or nothing. It was all good with that, but yeah, I don't think there was anything big. You know what I mean? I think we always coach each other up. We mentor each other. We talk to each other every probably every day. You know, we say, tells me what's going on with his life. I tell him what's going on with my life. So it's like.
So as kids, y'all were. I'm pretty sure y'all would kind of be role models for each other. But would y'all give yourselves pep talks as kids? Like, hey, what are we doing?
I feel like we just always like just been genuine and just like you acting dumb. Just say like
Yeah,
tell
acting
them,
dumb.
like kind of like how it is now. Like I never gonna take it to like take it personal. You know what I mean?
right.
Like if you tell me some shit like that, I need to switch up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna think about like listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Take into consideration and stuff like that.
But I think like to a certain extent there was a little bit of like a competition to it, like competitiveness to it, right?
Okay.
Like he's always been like the fastest dude probably in our grade, right? So I'm always gonna try to be faster than him, right? if I can get a step on him, if I can cheat this much in the race to try to beat him, just say I beat him. You know what I mean?
Hey, you gotta know what you gotta do.
Yeah, but like he said, it's always been pretty genuine. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah.
Growing up, who were some of your heroes?
Well, so I guess growing up, my biggest hero would probably be my father, to be honest with you. I mean, he's always been a guy in my life that's been such like an influence, not only to like my family, but like the local community and everything like that. So I always was able to look up to him as not just a father, but as a guy in a such a prominent figure in the community, just to see how he carries himself, how he acts, his work ethic, how he, what he does for our family, how he provides for our family. So that was just always something I wanted to model myself after, to be, a man like him one day. You know what I mean? I would say he's one of my best friends, you know what I mean? Like, we talk every day, multiple times a day. He gives me advice, coaching. And I attribute a lot of my success to him. Obviously, my mom as well, my sister Brooke. But a lot of that's been me and my dad, working, putting plans in place, making goals, following them through to get where I'm at today. So definitely my father, I would say.
Wow, it just really shows how a father figure influences a young man, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like we had this talk many times. I'm really proud of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're a young man in an ideal position under many eyes.
Yeah.
At least on mine, I know to believe it to be
Yeah.
true. And you're doing a good job. Keep that foot on that pedal and just go right through there. Jordan, for you, happy birthday, Mrs. White. I know it was your birthday recently, so
Appreciate
congrats. I know your mom's birthday was just, I think, yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday.
So I know family is a big part of you. With the whole looking up to people, I know your parents are very present in your life. Is there anybody besides them or in combination with them that influenced you?
For sure. I'd say my answer was going to be though, like, I say a couple people, just like people in my family. I would say that just kind of took care of me when I was younger. As in just taking me to practice. Like like you said, my uncle you were talking about earlier, he kind of like brought me in that football route and showed me like the way, like football, wanting to play football, wanting to work out, things like that. So that's somebody I definitely would say. Obviously my parents, and like it's all in different ways. Like each one of them I looked up to them in a different way. And now when I look back at it now, it's like I really appreciate those people. Like my Aunt Jackie, my Aunt Melina, Aunt Brand, and since y'all my aunts and uncles, y'all know who y'all are. But I would just say like every day I would go to school, and I would like get dropped off at my cousin's, my aunt, uncle's house, and my other aunt would come watch us. So it was just like so we had to do all that just to get watched at home after school, taken to school, to get fed. So it'd be like we would all be at somebody's house, but it would be the person watching us wasn't even their home. So it's just like determination, that we just the dedication to family love, that we all supported each other. And then it was just always like, now that I look back at it, how much support and how much people actually like looked out for me from when I was, couldn't even change my diaper.
Man, I mean, it's important that you say that reference about whoever was watching us, it wasn't even their home. And I hate to compare years and times, but nowadays you ask, hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar per se? Oh, come on. What do you do?
Right.
And then now you realize that everybody was playing their part just like in a team, right?
For sure.
Yeah, somebody was calling the audible, somebody was blocking, somebody had to be the quarterback, like, no, we're going this way. So it just shows it's a rare thing, and it paid off. Look where you're at, right? You mentioned that you're thankful, and I think that's a good part of people often forget. People, and I'm not talking athletes, I'm not talking celebrities, but sometimes people, when they feel they make it, they really forget at times all the things they took for them to get an opportunity to be where they're at today.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true. For sure.
So I appreciate you pointing that out and never forgetting about it. That's important. You mentioned that. I just really want to know, what was that first moment like whenever you got mad? I know it was years ago, but I mean, I know it was over a period of kind of being around each other a lot, but did it click at that time? Like it was kind of like okay, you know what? I did what this kid is doing. I'm hanging out with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we were so like young to even kind of remember the first like us meeting each other. You know what I mean? Probably like 4 or 5 years old, but it was just like we're around family, we're around sports. So it was kind of like he likes the same thing I like the same thing he likes. So it was just like, we're going to play. We'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of how it was. But
that's cool because a friendship like this, to the point that you can't recall that first, like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Yeah, like that.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
That's cool.
Right. Definitely.
That just shows the unity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, give me like a sense of a feel of how do y'all support each other? And you, Rocco, you're a safety specialist for Shell Polymers Wanaka. You, Jordan, as a pro NFL player. People would say, man, what is Exhibit A have to do with Exhibit B or A or B?
Yeah.
Tell me, you're the future of Wanaka, of Pennsylvania, as we stay in the oil and gas world.
Yep.
You're one of the major top 3 giants. You're the Jets. People will dream to be in the position that you are in.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all lift up each other, and how do y'all bounce off each other's ideas and stuff?
I feel like one thing Rocco does with me is like he always trying to get me to just like do more. I say like, for instance, going to school, like finishing a degree. And he be on me about that. Just kind of like foundations, like doing stuff in the community. And he just make sure like, hey, you like throw it out ideas, and then he knows how I am. Like, all right, it's gonna take me a couple times to just like agree or just to get back. So he does a good job, just like make sure like I'm trying to just keep, trying to not football, forget football, try to do other stuff.
So he plants the seed. Right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a mastermind right here.
Yeah.
So he kind of tells you,
that. Yeah,
hey Jordan, come on, we gotta spend some time in this school or whatever.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think a lot of like what Jordan's trying to say is like he's obviously a great football player, he's a great athlete, right? But a lot of times, how is he gonna be judged as a man, right? And he does a lot of things. He has a youth football camp. He has his own 501c3, Whitehead's Wishes. He does a lot of stuff for the community, right? So I think when you hear the name like Jordan Whitehead, you think, yeah, he's a great football player, Super Bowl champ, so on and so forth, whatnot. But I mean, you for example, your wife was just at the store and she brought his name up, and people were saying how humble he was, how good of a guy he was, right? So like, I think when you say Jordan Whitehead, especially in this community, you think of what a good guy with great parents and a great family and just a great man, right? And then football second, obviously, and I think Jordan kind of pushes me to be better as well because he's so successful at what he does, right? He's a professional at what he does. I'm a professional at what I do, right? But seeing him play on the highest level kind of just pushes me to be better and better and better and want to do better and also make myself more prevalent in the community as well. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing that we have with each other, obviously he lives in different states throughout the year. I'm here. It's just that conversation piece, right? If we need someone to talk to, we're there for each other. You know what I mean? So it's just cool to be able to talk and converse, you know what I mean? And have those conversations with someone you love and trust,
No, definitely.
Yeah, it's like a way we support each other.
Yeah. I say, like for me, it's like I'm around football players all day. So it's like, I mean, it's always football. So when I come back, like seeing Rocco, like growing up with him, you know, you never know. Like we always play sports, so everybody's like, oh, everybody's gonna play sports, and see him just like, you know, doing great at his job, getting promoted, like doing good things like that. Everybody talks about how his work, like how he works. You know, everybody that I meet, his bosses, he has a great relationship with his bosses and everything. Everybody loves him there, so it just shows the guy he is, and just like gives me like. I just remember how he in college, like everybody talked about safety management, him and my other boys that were doing the same degree, and then just to see how far it came now, it's just like, you know, you never, I never would have thought.
Yeah.
Safety management, right? You almost did it on purpose.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you. Rocco, I know you're heavy involvement not only in the safety side with Shell, but you also really, and I've seen it firsthand, push for Shell to do those collaborations with the community. Really, a way of you to influence giving back to you know where you were born and raised. How has the presence of Shell and just been I describe it as a second heir to the previous existing steel industry impacting your life, and how do you navigate through that?
So I mean, Shell's obviously been a huge part of my life, right? I remember it was 2015. Shell announced that they were going to build a whatever it was back then, $6 billion cracker plant in our backyard, and I was talking with my dad about going to school for safety management, and we were sitting there, and he said, "Boy, wouldn't it be something amazing if you can get a safety job at that cracker plant?" Right? At that time, I'm thinking, "What's this dude talking about? Well, I don't even know what safety is yet, let alone I don't even know what they're making at that plant." Right? So it was cool to see Shell come in. You know, we had Horsehead there. It wasn't anything like a Shell plant, right? Like how big we are now and everything, but to be able to have an opportunity to work for such a great company with great people. I learn every single day when I'm on the job. I mean, I went to school and got my bachelor's degree in health and safety, but every day working with, you know, great mentors I have on Shell, it's been, you know, a big part of my life. And, you know, Shell has a lot of values that I think myself as a person also have, like continuous improvement, respect, a lot of those things that Shell kind of pushes, I think are in me as well. So being able to work for a company that has the same values and goals and views as myself has been awesome. And then the part about Shell as well, about the community aspect of it, they're huge in that, right? So I got to work through 3.5 years of construction, doing health and safety, and the amount of money they gave away to, you know, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, so on and so forth. It's been awesome, you know what I mean? And to be able to be in a position to utilize my platform now, to be able to give back to the local community, Central Valley schools, so on and so forth, do coat drives, you know, winter clothing drives, things like that, has just been awesome. You know what I mean? Because you could do things on your own, and we talk about doing things and trying to give back to the community. When you have an oil giant behind you like that, and they have all those employees that care and want to give back to the community as well, it's a great feeling.
Wow, it's just synonymous to thrive, right? And I keep telling people that maybe not understand what's happening in your area. We have here the excellence of the tradition of the nitty-gritty of sportsmanship through your youth and now through your career. But now we have the tomorrow, the rebirth of an industry.
Yep.
And what can I say? This era deserves it. You have fallen nothing short of excellent. And there's certain pieces that are moving that maybe not everybody has adopted and accepted. But through football and now through Brighter Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure this era will thrive. As it continues to thrive in the sport, it will continue to drive in this industry and that fresh second air of breath that many people haven't really assimilated yet.
Right.
I know that throughout this journey, things happen. I'm married, I have a life, and you have your personal life, you too. Is there anything particular that sticks out to you of now your adulthood that has been something tough that really have benefited from the presence of each other, something that, you know, you had to go to dorm and he was like, "Hey man, look, this stuff," or maybe like a lot of people think that maybe you go to him, but he might come out to you and say, "Hey, you know, Rocco, I'm facing this, I'm new to this." Is there any like tough time that you've been that coach, like, "Oh, come on, tough it out"?
Every day, I said every single day we talk. I mean, we'll talk about something. There's negative and there's positives, but I say really every day. You know, people. I think I have problems every day. Like something that, you know, negative goes on every day, and then I feel like if I see him calling or I call him, it's the time to talk about it, and then we talk about it, and then, you know, it leads into the next day. But I feel like it's an everyday thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times, like, there's good ups and downs in life, right? Life's a roller coaster. You have your high moments, you have your low moments. Have that person to talk to you about it. It's great. You know what I mean? And I think at some times in our lives, and you could probably agree with this, we have the same type of problems, right? It is what it is, right? We have the same, sometimes at the same time, right? So we're able to talk about how'd you get through this? How what'd you think here? What do you think of this? You know what I mean? So it's like we share experiences, right? Some a little different, some the same, right? But it's cool to have someone, that close you can trust and talk to about it. So
I'm glad that y'all hash it out. Like if something you throw it to him and vice versa.
yeah.
But I know there's been challenges, right? You are being so young, and I'm just gonna be upfront about it. You being so young, a lot of notion of people sometimes either they get intimidated, either they feel they're owned, they're owed something, or they own it.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes this young gentleman.
Yep.
Man, I've been doing this for 25 years, and here comes this young cat, and it's my turn.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that kind of negativity and criticism?
I think it's just having the self-confidence in myself. You know what I mean? I know who I am as a man. I know my knowledge, skills, and ability. I know what I bring to the table. So when I run into negativity and people that have that attitude towards me, I don't really think twice about it. You know what I mean? Because I get where they're coming from to a certain extent. But I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I'm capable of. So I go in and I do my job the same way I'm going to do it, whether I'm dealing with a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, or 60-year-old. I'm going to do it. And, I'm respectful of everyone's experiences, the decisions they make in life, but I'm going to do my job the way I know it and the way I carry myself, no matter who I'm dealing with,
Well, nail on the head. I don't think you can say it any better. And a lot of times, issues get brought up because of somebody else's insecurity, and you can agree to that, right?
100%, yeah.
And world class, keep that approach, don't change it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask this, and I know you probably got asked 1,000 times. I know when you go to the field, it's almost like a mute button. You're concentrating in the game.
For sure.
That's what I got to do. You do your ritual with listening to music. But I know at some point, there's some obnoxious people. There's things that are tweeted, posted. How do you deal with a hater?
Yeah, so you can use, for instance, me, I use Twitter as a motivational thing. So I see some bad tweet, whatever, because you gonna get New York market, you gonna get a whole bunch of bad tweets. So you reading that, and then I kind of use it for motivation. It does make you mad, but some people might go into and might take it the wrong way, or take it that way, make them timid and lose confidence in themselves, I would say. But I kind of use it for other purposes, like motivate me. I know like you said, know what you're capable of, know the work I put in. I just have confidence in myself, and then other ways though, I don't know. Like Twitter's one thing they tell you to stay off of. That does get people. It does get people. But I don't know. Like you said, listening to music, things like that. I kind of that helps me block away a hater. Football is football. At the end of the day, it's a game. You know what I mean. So it's like the people on the outside, I don't really care what they got to think. It's like. They talk about fantasy points. That's what they care about. I'm doing this for my life, so it's different. It's like I really don't care.
Yeah. But then you think where their hate stems from. You know what I mean? He's playing football, making all this money on the highest level, and these people are tweeting this from behind their phone. Obviously, that hate for him stemming from jealousy, anger. You know what I mean? So he has to, he has to remember that, where that hate's coming from. One of my favorite sayings. It's what is it? The lion doesn't turn around for the opinion of the sheep. You know what I mean? When you're up here and people down here, you know what I mean? And I recently, I even, the position I'm in, I see people hating on me. I see people talking about me, right? I think hate, whenever you're in a position of power, influence, or you're in a position of success, I think people are always going to have negative feelings towards you. And that stems from jealousy and anger, right? So just knowing in the back of your head, they're hating because they're mad. You know what I mean? Stay mad.
Mad. Mad. I won't see you in life ever. You know what I mean? You tweet something about me, I probably will never see that
behind
tweet
your blog.
Right. Keyboard. What is it? Keyboard warrior.
Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers. But I have this concept. You really have to have, and I'm going to use the word, a miserable life to spend your energy and focus energy and a lot of it hype to spend time to do a whole paragraph or think of a whole insult for somebody.
Right.
Like how miserable can your life be that's your form of entertainment?
Over a sport.
Over sport.
Man, hey, he's saying it, not me. You could
Sport, no, I swear definitely simple. Like as a this, I think like you grew up, you could be a diehard fan, but for you to hate somebody over a play, over a sport, it's like there's real life problems.
It's a game.
There's real life problems.
And that's why I truly believe in it. Everybody who's in the position they're in is because up here they're capable to navigate the position.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you just said it. To get like that over a sport, you're in the field. Like you put on those pads.
Yeah.
Not those people. I could understand it like maybe all the way around, but
For sure.
you're giving that dynamic. Like, hey man.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm putting my life like for that, and then for like the players, like we putting our life on the line.
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
we got fans, saying things like that. It's like they don't know what we're going through.
Yeah.
We get beat on the play. They don't know the injury we may have, or it's just like they never know what's going on.
True, right? You just made a good point, and we've had over the years unfortunate events with a lot of our league's players, and a lot of these players, you know them, you grew up with them, and it's a constant battle. Whether you're in a refinery, you're in the field, you're taking care of yourself at the same time doing your job. So it's something that people, I don't know if they understand what all goes on behind the underneath the helmet, or inside of a working facility and running. So now. Monaca, PA, Shell Polymers. What's all and everything that you're doing right now, Rocco? What are you focusing right now in life? What are you looking to shoot towards to?
Yeah.
In the meantime.
So right now, obviously, I'm working my job as a safety specialist. I recently just got promoted, which I've been working for about 3 years now. So my big goals in life right now are just continuing to better myself professionally and personally, right? So professionally, I want to continue to get better, continue to learn all I can, go to trainings. I recently graduated with my Master's of Business Administration, so my MBA degree. Congrats. So thank you. That was a big notch on my educational journey, right? So I was able to get that done. But I guess, I was going to say off the field, but in my personal life, I've been working every day to try to become a better person, right? And a lot of that goes back to, I'm trying to get closer with God. Actually Jordan's cousin, Murray Sims, he's been a big influence on me in that, getting closer with God. We talk, probably every day about religion and faith. He'll send me the daily Bible verses, so on and so forth. So that's something I've been trying to do. And then a big goal of mine, it might be like a 5+ year goal of mine, would be to start my own company. I want to eventually have a safety consulting company where we could do like audits, other safety stuff we could talk offline about. But with that, I want to maybe potentially have, a company that can start and then just grow. That's a big goal of mine off the field.
I mean, what you've accomplished in the short amount of time, quote unquote short.
Yep.
That's very, in a good way, ambitious, and really, I'm excited to what's next for you in here. What's next for the area, and that people are literally, as this was being built, now that you're here, they're witnessing the future of an industry that's here to stay for a good while. So I'm pretty sure of that. Jordan, you were with Buccaneers, now you're with the Jets. What are some of your personal goals, not only in football, but maybe off the field?
Yeah. So off the field, I'll just start like, I like to work out. I like doing things like that. I got family members that train people and do things like that. So definitely just want to, get my own business, get a facility going around here soon, sooner or later. Just have a space for young athletes around here to go work out indoor. It's cold half the year, so somewhere inside. Just things like that, help giving back kind of thing. Just always still trying to give back. Outside of that, right now, I'm just really trying to still just lock in on the football goals, and still kind of, I say, my prime right now. So trying to get these interceptions this year.
Yeah,
that's my goal. Tackles will come.
Stop eating that popcorn.
Butterfingers. But no, just my football goal is definitely I need some interceptions this year. I ain't gonna put an amount on the interceptions yet, but I think that's the problem. I say I need an amount of number, like a certain amount.
Oh yeah,
that's my problem. I just gotta take it each day. That's gonna be my new thing.
Have Rocco do a spreadsheet for you, man. He just updated.
I'm gonna get him a jugs machine for Christmas.
That's a good one. Birthday present. Ooh.
Noted.
Birthday present, jug machine.
I know you said that y'all both do a lot of things with the community. I know you do your camps at least yearly, right? And you spend a lot of time with the youth. So back to what Rocco said. I'm talking to my wife, and my wife is like, "Hey, do you want me to get you something? Because we want to remember the moment, like a football or something." So she's going around here in Beaver trying to find a place. Rocco has the idea, "Hey, have her print out some images, and I'm sure Jordan will be willing to sign them." I'm like, "All right." I asked my wife, "Don't say what they're for. Please don't." She goes, literally, this is all she says. "Oh, I'm looking to get this printout these size. Okay, cool. Yeah, can you send us the image?" As soon as the person in the counter opens it up, there's Whitehead. "Jordan, what do you need them for?" My buddy's like, "No, my wife just asked them for them." So and then the guy goes, "So your husband needs them just for printout? Like, is he for a project or something?" My wife is like, "No.
That's what they're for. That's
and then the next question was, "Are you gonna be around him?" She's like, "Well, yeah, but no." And then you see a crowd. She said a crowd of people in the best way.
Yeah.
"Oh my God, Jordan is the best.
Yeah.
We love him. Here's a local." And there was some guy that said, "Oh, I grew up with his family. I know his aunties, blah 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 blah." And my wife was just like, "Yeah." And she was like FaceTiming me. She was like, And he heard her, "Oh my God, yes." Blah, blah, blah. And I told my wife, "Oh,
That's funny.
okay, that's fine."
That's
But she's like, "No, we're talking beautiful." But Jordan, they were actually just kind of bragging. So I know you've heard this a lot of times, but from an out-of-towner who nobody knows around here, and to have people from your community to talk like that about you, I know it makes you feel good. And I know that you're proud of it, and you should be proud. So keep influencing the youth in the community like that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It goes a very long way.
I appreciate that.
Rocco, what is one thing that you really have as a message for not only people here but anybody watching behind this camera?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I would have to say to anyone watching is just chase your dreams, right? Make goals, set goals, and then just attack them. Go after them, right? Wake up every day with that mindset that whatever I want to do for the day, I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna work my hardest. I'm gonna continue to be great, and I'm gonna achieve everything that I want in life.
I'll say, just have like good people in your corner. Like you said, have a team that you can rely on. If it's, you need to talk about feelings, if you need, just ideas of, how to go through like work, or if you just anything, have a team. It could be a group of 5, a group of 10. Just have those people that you can really trust, and make sure you keep in contact. Just don't forget, like, just don't go into a shell if anything's going wrong. Talk if you need it. Because a lot of people care that you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And a perfect example, both of you. People might see you in your own separate journeys, but together you've made a dream team. I don't know what they put in the water around here. I want it in Texas. I don't know what it is. No, I'm not exaggerating. It's not a coincidence. You excelling as an athlete. You're excelling as a professional in the career that you chose and the career that you chose. Often we think that the people that are in our circle have to be chasing the same exact thing that we do when it's not true.
Yeah. Right.
You said keep that circle of 2, 3, 5 people. People need to understand that just because you have your success and your meaning, it's not the same thing as you, but yet you thrive from each other.
Yeah,
right?
it's like the same common goal at the end of the day.
So do you think that people may have a little wrong when maybe they tell their friend, "Hey, I'm trying to do this," and the friend doesn't 100% understand what their dream is? And then they start getting like a little resentment?
It's like a jealousy type thing?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, I think if someone in your circle has hate, jealousy, or like a resentment to their friend or their family, I think that's a toxic trait. You know what I mean? You may have to reevaluate your circle.
What did we? That was this morning. Something happened. We was listening to the worship, and I forget.
Yeah,
we were talking about like not. We were talking about humbleness, or
just
not. We were like when we're not each other, we could talk about our job. We could talk about ourselves without it seeming like we're being cocky.
Yeah. There's a fine line between cocky, arrogance, right? But and also having just that confidence to yourself. You know what I mean? And I think. Humbly, I could say I think we're both pretty humble people. You know what I mean? For the positions we're in and everything, and I want to continue to be humble. And I think that humbleness comes just from the way that we were raised. You know what I mean?
And we need more of that, right? We have here this classic Americana town and townships, and at times I think we become so engaged and so involved in what's trending and what's new and the social media that we forget the roots, right? So once again, I don't think it's a coincidence that both of you gentlemen are prime examples and role models for not only this generation, future generations. And I really want to embrace the friendship here, that it's something that wasn't taken lightly. It started at 5 years old, but it will continue till the Lord says no more, right? And so, once again, Jordan Whitehead, thank you so much for your time, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I wish you much more success.
Thanks.
And keep rapping because you're doing an amazing job. Rocco Martini,
My guy.
thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Rocco. I appreciate that. Behind the camera, you don't know, but you're actually one of the reasons of this happening.
Yep.
And I really want to thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah.
I posted something the other day, influence over fame, fame is temporary, influence is forever. So something that y'all truly are cultivating and is striving.
Yeah.
And I hope that more people and the youth watching this really take this message from your wonderful locals.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
I'm your host, Jacoppo Balderrama. You can call me Jaco. Star Motivation. Peace.